All right, so this is January 4th, 2020. We're in Lansing, Michigan. We're getting ready to work a tournament tomorrow, Fuji tournament in Lansing, Michigan. This is the homie GK from Kazakhstan, and my name is Juan Carlos. I am from Indiana. I'm purple belt, an Atos purple belt on Team USA. I recently came back from Kazakhstan competing at the UWW Worlds in Nur-Sultan, formerly known as Astana, Kazakhstan, where GK happens to be from. So just cool the way that we met up. We met in, what was it?
August 10th, Kentucky, Louisville.
Right?
Yeah.
In Kentucky.
No, it was Paducah.
Yeah, Paducah, Kentucky. When we went out there, we met up. I was getting ready to go to Kazakhstan. I was getting ready. I was in camp, getting things ready, making some extra money, working some tournaments, trying to make some extra cash to get going, and then met old boy GK. And then we've been boys since, been hanging out. We were just in Pedigo.
Yep.
Right? Pedigo submission fighting.
Yep.
Out of that gym, you were out there for how long?
I got there December 26th and get back January 3rd. So
Such
just
as
around,
yesterday,
yeah,
so
like
8 days.
Yeah.
Right? So get some good training out there.
Oh yeah. So first of all, I just want to say that I'm using GK as a nickname, right?
Right, yeah.
My full name is Galmjan Kenizbekov, but I'm trying to not give people hard time and just use GK.
GK.
Is my nickname, yep.
Yeah.
And all the refs who works for Fuji and Naga knows like I'm GK, not like Galmjan.
GK.
Yep, exactly. So as Juan said, we was training in Pedigo too, but I got there December 26th, and I spent there my birthday too. I turned 25 this year, and
Which was what?
December 29th. Yep.
December 29th? Well,
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the black belt there, Andrew Witze, he actually just give me a very, very hard time rolling with him. We rolled around maybe 40 times on my birthday only, and he just tapped me all the time.
Yeah.
It was wrist locks, kimuras, all of that stuff. Yeah, and also I met new friends down there.
Right.
Have very good matches.
Yeah. So you're from Kazakhstan, right?
Yes.
You are in Illinois studying?
Yes,
right?
I do. I go for Illinois State University, study I used to study actuarial science, then I switched to applied statistics, and so I end up doing applied statistics, and hopefully next May I'm gonna graduate and dedicate all my free time to for jiu-jitsu
Jiu-jitsu
and
training.
hopefully getting better. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so you've been in the U.S. for how long?
1 year and a half. So
Really? It's just been that year? Okay.
Yeah, I came here August 2018.
What up? August 2018. Tim,
Yeah.
we're making a video podcast. Come say what's up down here. So we got Tim that's about to come in. He's the man the man running the show for the Fuji tournaments. So he's been dragging us around almost all over the country.
Yep.
We've been Pittsburgh,
Ohio, Kentucky,
Indiana,
and Ohio. Did you say that?
Did he?
Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So
Been down to Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah. So we've been all over, road warrioring it, and now we're in Lansing, Michigan. We got one tomorrow, right? Getting set up. So
Hopefully it's gonna be a big tournament, right?
Yeah.
220?
250, 270.
you got 250, yeah. So
Yeah, we usually end up with the same number, right? In
Yeah.
Michigan.
Right. Yeah, Michigan's usually pretty
Wasn't,
big.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Got Philly coming up.
yeah.
Charleston, West Virginia is a new tournament for us. So y'all get to go to West Virginia if you want to go.
When is that?
February?
No, January 25th, 26th, or whatever the last weekend is.
Okay.
Sweet. So
Got the Carolinas, Virginias, Maryland.
Yeah, I never been in North Carolina, right?
Get out of
to visit.
school, man. We're going on the road for 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
School's overrated, man.
right.
Well, I will graduate in July, so yeah, I will make tourist visa and come back, and hopefully I will be traveling. You know,
Yeah.
work, travel, train, and compete.
Traveling for work, traveling.
Yeah.
So when I went to Nur Sultan, and that's where you're from.
Yep.
Right.
Well, I'm from Astana, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Astana. Yeah, but
When
they
I-
keep changing the name.
Yeah, exactly.
So
They changed the names in 2019
yeah, yeah.
while
yeah.
I was here. So technically, I left from Astana, not from Nur Sultan, right?
Yeah,
So-
so you left Astana and then you're gonna be going back to Nur
Nur
Sultan.
Sultan, yeah.
Yeah. So why do they change the names?
Well, because of our president.
The president
Yep.
is just egos, like he
Maybe.
wants to get
Yeah.
maybe.
I cannot say it to camera, right?
Right, yeah, exactly, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I competed. So I went and I competed against the
Volkan.
Kazakhstanian,
Yeah.
right? So you've heard of him.
Yeah.
So-
I think he trains in the west of the country.
Yeah,
Yeah. He doesn't train in our capital.
yeah. So he
I've
trains
heard
out
about
there.
him, Yep.
Yeah, so he was a good guy. I lost to him first round. Fuck. 7-6. But it was a good match. I had fun. And he's really good. He's been getting after it. We follow each other on social media now. So
Yeah.
he competes a fair amount as well. So
Mhm.
it's a good experience.
Tell
Getting
about
to-
your story in
getting-
Kazakhstan,
getting
how
to
you
compete.
tried all this delicious food, you know, kurt, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bud. See ya. So yeah, I tried a little bit of what is it?
Kurt.
Kurt.
Yeah, it's a milky product.
Kurt.
Yeah.
So kurt. So it's just what dried milk.
Dried milky product.
Dry and hardened milk.
Yeah.
You put a little bit of salt on,
A little bit salt, yep.
and then that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Right.
So, just a little bit history. We used to be nomads for many years, and kurt was only, like one of our main foods because we used to travel for long distances. That's why you cannot stop the whole crowd all the time, and that's why it's a little bit snacks,
Yeah.
which will keep you for long distance.
Yeah.
So.
So, kurt. So how did you guys find out about that, or how did you guys make it? Or how did it? Like,
So
what's the
basically,
story?
I'm not super good in food production, but the main principles is when you just get milk from a cow, you just dry it in the special bags, like for 2-3 days. Put a little bit salt, and that's all. After a big messy milky product will be ready, you will just take it from the bag and start like making like a snowballs, and that's it.
That's
So
it.
then you dry it again on the open air.
So that it hardens.
Yeah, it's
That's
hardened,
how it
yeah.
hardens. Yeah. So, but what was the story behind it? Like, how did you guys make it, or how did it get created?
Well, I think it takes deep roots in history. Maybe when Kazakhs was formed, it was like 1464, 1466, I would say, these years,
Mhm.
when Kazakh was known as the Kazakhs, I would say, when we split it from the Uzbeks. Little bit of history, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much that's it. Like around that time,
Yeah.
we firstly was known as Kazakhs.
When you was Kazakhs.
Yeah. Then we was under Russian Empire for many years, and then followed by USSR time for 75 years, and now we got our independence in 1991.
Okay.
So
But you said there was a cool backstory where like you guys didn't have any food, and so you guys were able
Yeah.
to eat the quartz.
Yeah,
What was able to
it-
keep you guys alive while you guys didn't have food.
yeah,
You guys were able to
that's
kinda-
true. Actually, we had a lot of hard times in our history. For example, 1930s, it was like a great famine in our country, and that's why a lot of people was dying, but nevertheless, we was like keep trying, to connect some things,
Yeah.
and try to survive by eating kurds,
Right.
whatever. Basically, it was very hard time for us.
Yeah. So there was no food.
No
The
food.
court was
Yeah,
court
was nothing.
was the very kind of the last resort that helped you guys kind of stay
Yeah.
alive until
Yeah.
kind of everything passed. And you
Exactly.
said after Stalin, right? You said.
Yeah. Well, it was before Stalin.
Oh, before
but
Stalin,
after
but-
Stalin, anyway, it was like hard times for us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Either way.
because it was time when USSR almost collapsed,
Mhm.
and economy wasn't like how should I say spread not evenly among the countries, among the
Mhm.
former USSR countries. That's
Yeah.
why every former USSR country was trying to survive, so to speak. That's why it was hard times.
Yeah.
So
So a nice little history, kind of, for your people and kind of how you guys survived from just hard times and famine and
yeah,
dictatorships, right? And
Yeah, I mean,
bad,
like-
just bad presidents, not necessarily bad presidents, but just
Yeah.
struggle, right?
Yeah,
People
well,
just been struggling.
yeah, we are
struggled before.
I mean, like we're a young country, and everyone has like right to make mistakes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I
And
just
so your country just got its independence in 1991.
yeah. So we're like around 30 years old.
Like the country itself
Yeah, yeah.
is like
Mhm.
just 30 years old.
Yeah. Then we became known as Kazakhstan, Republic of Kazakhstan. So.
Kazakhstan, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty neat, considering like it's a country and just recently, like in my life. So I was born in 1991.
Mhm.
So it's old. Your country is as old as I am.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so it's 28 years old.
Maybe a little bit younger because we got our independence December 16th. So
Okay, yeah.
maybe-
I was born May 8th, so I'm older than your country.
Yeah,
bro.
so-
may or may not be a good thing, but that's still some pretty crazy history though. Just like how it came up and then what it is now.
Yeah.
So when I went, kind of my experience is the first thing that you see when you exit the airport is like a giant just dome kind of building. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
called-
Aladdin's castle,
It's called yeah,
right? It
Mhm.
literally looks like Aladdin's castle.
yeah.
It's got the big bubble, kind of like 3 pillars on it and everything. But it also has just a bunch of different architecture. So like it's got like giant tall buildings,
Yeah.
and then obviously, like I said, like it looks like Aladdin's castle,
Mhm.
and then just a bunch of just new construction.
Yeah, a lot of
Right.
new constructions. Yeah, because if our country is only 30 years old, our capital is like it was moved and known as a capital only in 1998.
Right.
That's why it's like still
20 years
constructions.
old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
22
constructions
years old.
going on. So
Yeah.
did you have a chance to see Bayterik? It's one of our. There's a golden ball and like a tree with a golden ball on the above. Did you have a chance to see
I
it?
don't think so. No.
So one cool story about it is, as I told you, the capital was moved from our south to the north in 1997, and it was like renamed. Our old city was renamed to Astana, and that's why the height of the building is 97 meters. I don't know how much is in the feet or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's 97 meters.
Oh, okay. Because
So-
of the symbolism
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
year,
Mhm.
it made the capital in 1997.
Yep.
So back in the 90s.
So yeah. So, speaking about my country, like where, like when we're growing up, our parents tend to send us to do wrestling, boxing most of the time. Not
Mhm.
like a team sport like a hockey. I mean, like hockey team is pretty decent, but not like boxing team, wrestling team. So,
Yeah.
So I think this is a thing which unites us.
Yeah.
We are also dedicated to wrestling.
Right.
So-
Yeah. So that part of the country in general, and then
Yeah.
Russia in general.
Yeah,
That whole
I mean, like
is-
not Russia itself, but only like certain parts of the Russia. I would say, like if we're talking about freestyle wrestling, right? It's Chechnya, Dagestan was it?
Dagestan.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where Khabib is from,
Yeah,
right?
Khabib is,
Yeah. That's where
main
they all
guy,
train.
main guy. Yep.
The main guy. Yeah. And so
but if you're talking about Greco, I would say there are many uh, famous champions who was born in Novosibirsk. It is like, if I'm not mistaken, it is east-south part of the Russia.
Hmm.
So it doesn't belong to Dagestan. It's like,
Its own.
it's like a Siberia.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So it's its own little region.
Hmm.
And so then we met. The kind of thing that brought us is jiu-jitsu, grappling, right?
Yeah.
So we work tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just recently got your blue belt.
Yeah,
Right.
I got my blue belt from a well-known 8-time world champion, Professor Hapsamura.
Yeah.
He got a chance to visit us December 1st through December 3rd, I think. And we had some seminars, and by the end of the seminar, he actually gave me the blue belt. It was kind of, so was my own Coach Ed. He actually was teasing me because he was giving, I was a white belt, 2-star white belt, by the way, and he was giving all the white belts, green belts, the stripes.
Mhm.
Some of the white belts moved to the green belts without any stripes or whatever. So me and Blaine got blue belts that time, and Blaine got his blue belt through after he was 3-stripe green belt, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and like one night before I got my blue belt, my coach also gave me a trophy, like competitor of the year 2019, and I was so happy because these things happened just before my finals, so I was kind of so relaxed, so happy to take exams.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So how many times did you compete last year?
Oh, I think so I actually started September, and probably 15 times, I would say. For Fuji, I competed, maybe 11. Yeah, 11. Yeah, 11 times.
Yeah.
I did 2 times for New Breed, 1 time for Naga. So
Yeah.
should
And then you won the Naga belt, right?
Yeah, I won Naga belt as a absolute division. So
Yeah. With white belts.
a white belt.
So then when you went home, when did you get to go home?
Yeah.
And when was the last time you went to go home?
I had a chance to travel back home June 11th after Michigan State Championship. It was in Lansing,
Yeah.
here actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this venue, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got first and second. I got first in Nogi and second in Gi, I think. No, I got both of them golds actually. So I traveled back home. On my way, I was stopped in New York airport, JFK, and the policeman was checking my bags, and there are a lot of medals. I was trying to pull out one by one, and he said, "Okay, I got
I
it.
got it, I got it."
Put it back." And I was like putting back everything. So it was kind of funny story. Then the same thing happened in Moscow. So like basically every airport where I was like flying through, yeah, they had to pull me over, just to
So
check
all the
what I had in my
Yeah.
bags and why it's so heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, then basically when I was winning these medals, I had a one dream. I wanted to put all my medals to my grandfather's neck and just take a picture with him. So because I'm holding his name, so that's why for me it's a big honor.
Right.
So yeah.
And you were able to do that, right?
Yeah,
You were able
I
to
did
go
it.
back
Yeah,
home,
I did it.
Put your medals around his neck.
Yeah, we
and
did a
his
little bit
belt.
celebration,
Yeah, yeah.
like July 15th, I think. Then he was kind of bragging all these, my achievements to his younger brothers because all of them are wrestlers.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so he was saying, "Hey, my children,
Grandson.
grandson was able to win like medals in the USA, so which is like big honor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So to speak. So yeah, I was so happy to make him happy.
Yeah. It's
So
always
it's,
nice
Yeah.
being able to take that back and send it back to
Yeah.
the grandparents, to the granddad.
Yeah.
So So you've been here for a year now. What would you say is like a big difference?
Oh, big
like
difference is
what
that-
was one of the biggest things that took you back when you first went from Kazakhstan and you got to the US? What was like
Yeah.
kind of like a big thing? Or did you have a hard time adjusting? Did you have
I would say yes and no because I grew up by watching American movies. I watched a lot of American movies because only we had like I grew up in a small town and only what we had only 3 channels, and every Friday night there was like American movies like Rambo. What's the second one? I forgot.
Rocky?
Rocky, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How I could have forgot, right?
Yeah.
Rocky, then Over the Top, all these his movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, over the
movies.
top.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, not everyone knows there was actually a real champion. His name is John Brzenk. He was like 18 years old guy who was like beating everyone, you know, and like he was actually end up winning a giant truck, you know,
Yeah.
18-wheelers.
Yeah.
So
is that a real thing? Like,
yeah,
did you win?
it was
Like,
actually a
did
real
you-
thing. Yeah.
Did you actually get an 18
Yeah,
wheeler?
yeah. So, coming back to your question, I always wanted to explore America. You know, just was always dreaming to travel the roads and put some country music. You know,
Yeah.
and as we're traveling with Tim and Tony, the guys who are running Fuji tournaments, yeah, my dreams came true. You know,
Right.
So
We're on the road.
yeah,
We're on the road, traveling,
Yeah.
checking things out.
exactly.
We just went to Purdue University today.
Yeah.
Right. We
Mhm.
stopped by Purdue University back in
was-
Lafayette, where I'm from, or West Lafayette, where I live and I train. And so got to go back, visit my little town, and then we got to visit Purdue. So you've just been traveling.
Yeah, I've
visiting-
been just
visiting
traveling
the
and
US,
traveling.
Right.
Exactly.
You're in school, but you're on break right now, or every chance you get, you travel
Yep.
to different places, different states.
Yeah.
and-
Well, I've already been in like maybe 9 different states, so to
Right.
speak, because of the Fuji, because of random reasons.
Yeah, right.
Training.
Yeah.
Mostly training or competing. So
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. You said not a lot of people from Kazakhstan get to come to the U.S.
yeah,
Really?
not to Illinois, unfortunately.
Right.
Maybe because of the weather, because we have similar weather like in Illinois. It's
Uh-huh.
actually cold during
Yeah.
the winter and very hot during the summer. Probably they prefer like a Florida weather.
Oh,
I would
really?
say, yeah, like when it's always
Just
like
get out. Yeah,
Mm.
just get out of the.
Yeah.
Leave that. So then, do a lot of people from Kazakhstan come to the U.S.?
Actually, I brought my good friend from Kazakhstan with me this
Yeah.
year. He's a first-year graduate student. Also goes to Illinois State University. He also does applied statistics.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what's like growing up in Kazakhstan? What's it like growing up in Kazakhstan? Or
So-
like what's like normal kind of everyday life? And because I think isn't like the median income like
yeah.
like
So
3,500 a year?
I wish.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I heard something like that, but I'm not sure if it's
Yeah,
correct or
it
not.
depends. It depends actually what you do.
Right,
So,
I guess it
right.
depends what you
yeah.
do.
So speaking about my childhood, I didn't have a basically phone, right? So pretty much what I spent. I mean, how I spent my time was just doing a boxing. By the way, I started with a boxing. I started doing a boxing when I was 7 years old, and I got up from boxing maybe like 15 years old, I would say. Then I picked up karate and doing karate for a few years, and I did street fights, all that stuff. So basically, because I was not addicted so much for social media or whatever, I was able to spend all my time for studying and training.
So, but you were born in what, 94?
94, yeah. So actually, I bought my first phone in 2012, I would say. So
Okay.
it's like a pretty long distance, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's not too bad. So I got my first phone 2008, 2009.
Mhm.
So right around there, it's kind of the same thing. Like I didn't get a phone until I was able to pay for my own bill and everything like that. So same thing for me. I wasn't always so stuck in on phones or anything like that. My family didn't get a computer until right about that time, like 2008, 2009, we didn't get a computer until then. So I was never too sucked into just being on the internet all day
Yeah,
and
the
kind of
same.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was just, I think, ultimately a good thing because I was able to just be out, be active, do different things instead of just being stuck at home all day, and just kind of stayed busy that way. Kept pretty busy as far as just. I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't work or anything, but I did work. But still, you're still a kid, right? You don't have any major responsibilities, so just kind of hang out, do whatever.
Yeah, I think many kids should do that. I think,
Yeah.
basically until they get like maybe 13, 15, years old,
Yeah.
they actually don't need phones.
So
They
and you
need to
said
yeah.
you boxed as well.
Yeah, I did.
How long did you box for?
Oh, 8 years, roughly
From how old were
speaking.
you when you started?
7 to 15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you fight? Have you had any fights?
I had 74. I lost 3 times. I got, my hands was raised 71 times, I'd say. I mean, like in amateur boxing, we don't have pretty much draws. Well, I didn't have. I was lost. I was beaten up 3 times, like very, very harsh time it was. Yeah. I mean, like, I think I'm so involved in martial arts from very beginning because I had an older cousin and my uncles all the time tried to match me up with him so that we wrestle, we do some stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty much I was involved from the very beginning. And although I want to say that my first competition, my first round, I lost. I mean, like my first fight, I lost in the first round or second round, I'd say. The kid was so good, and I quitted the boxing to be honest. But then my uncle, he came to the house. He was actually Afghanistan war veteran, and he was very decent in boxing. He
What
said
war?
Afghanistan war.
Oh, Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's like 80s,
Yeah.
So, yeah, he came to home and said, "Hey, I heard that he was doing a boxing." I said, "Yeah, I lost, and I don't want to do that because, basically I suck, right?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't worry, just come." It was actually near to summer break. So I went to his house and I was training like 3 times per day, like cardio, some hitting the pads, right?
Yeah.
And doing some little sparrings. So yeah, when summer break was over, I was competing again because he said I need to compete, give it a whirl. So I did it, and surprisingly, it was so easy for me to do that because, like, I was doing like whole camp,
Yeah.
and then I loved the taste of the victory, and just was keep doing and doing. Not
Yeah.
bragging myself, but this is, like when ref raises your hand, this feeling is amazing. It's
Yeah.
like none of your drugs, like can give the same feeling,
Yeah.
So yeah, as a competitor, also know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much that's it. Then I switched to karate because I felt that okay, now I know how to punch. Now I need to learn how to kick, and I got my brown belt with golden stripes. If you know the ranking system, so it's like one step before the black belt. So yeah, like then like I said, okay, now I know how to punch and how to kick. Let me check myself in street fights, and I end up street fighting people. So before grappling was involved in the street fights, I was keep winning. But when again, the bosses decided that hey, let's have some ground game, and I started losing. I lost 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
And my last fight was very bad because I was caught by my favorite submission, which is Kimura, and I said, "Damn, I need to learn that." So yeah, so then I left any sports and I started doing. I started studying basically because it was like almost my high school, like
Mm-hmm.
coming to the end, and I wanted to go for the college, all that stuff. So yeah, I dedicate my time for the college, and that's it.
So-
Then when I came here, I decided to give the second chance and make a comeback. And I pick up jiu-jitsu because it's like it's a ground game first of all. Second of all, it's like very famous in US.
Yeah.
A lot of good guys here, strong competitors. So yeah, that's why I'm doing jiu-jitsu, and I like it so much so far.
Right.
So hopefully, yeah, I will compete in Worlds in coming June, 2020. So
Like Gi Worlds out in
Worlds.
California, right?
Yep.
So
Mhm.
it'll be blue belt, get to compete, and that's after you graduate,
yeah, I
before
will.
you head back home to Kazakhstan.
Yep.
Right?
I will graduate. Hopefully, I will graduate May 2020. Then I want to compete. Then I want to go home, rest a little bit, work a little bit, come back and compete.
Compete again.
Yeah.
You want to come here, compete as much as you can, and then
Yeah.
get back.
Probably I will come back for Nogi Worlds, maybe for Pan Americans
Yeah.
in March, like in 2021.
Okay.
So who knows,
Yeah. Nogi Pans is I think August, September. I think
Nogi
is when
Pan,
it
yep.
is. So that wouldn't be a bad one either, but yeah, so just in general, so you've been just involved in martial arts for all your life, pretty much the majority of your life. So
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Wow.
can definitely say that I'm a martial artist, I think. Not
Yeah,
bragging
yeah,
myself, but
yeah.
just
in general, been into it,
yeah.
the whole Bruce Lee thing and everything
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. I think that's a big part of just a bunch of people that train now. Just you see
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, either Bruce Lee or Dragon Ball Z,
oh yeah.
because Dragon Ball Z is like the exact same thing. Dragon Ball Z is like the definition of somebody that trains to compete. Just
Mhm.
you literally just the more you train, the stronger you get. The more strong people you go against, or the stronger the people you go against, like the better you get. Even though you lose, you still get to try. You still
Mhm.
learn, even though you learn from the losses. So it still
Yeah.
ultimately ends up being a win because you did it anyway. So you're coming out learning. You come out better. You learn from it, and whatever you learn how you lost, or you learn what you have to do different, or
Yeah.
just anything like that, right? You're still always constantly improving, no matter what. Whether you take an L or you win, you're still looking to get better, looking to improve.
Exactly.
So then there is no losing, essentially, right?
Yeah.
As cheesy as it sounds, like you're still going out there and putting it, trying to test yourself. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
There is a very, very thin border between losing and learning. So
Yeah. So you gotta be able to manage it, learn from it, and then keep moving. So,
yeah.
but I think it was pretty cool though how we met, because I was getting ready for Kazakhstan. I was getting ready to go to Kazakhstan. My coach had already been out there. He had been on Team USA for a couple years now. He had been there recently, a couple years ago, for Worlds a couple years ago, and then I was thankful. I was fortunate enough that I was able to make the team in June. Went out to the Olympic Training Center, and I won my spot at 62 kilos. So then we were getting ready to go out to Worlds, and so Kazakhstan had been a big part of my focus, really from June, from when I got after World Team Trials, from when I got my spot, when I won my spot on the team. Pretty much moving forward, everything was just focused on Kazakhstan. Like, gotta get ready for Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
How am I gonna get to Kazakhstan? How am I gonna afford it?
Yeah, because it's a big
it's
tournament,
a
right?
it's a big trip, big tournament. Whether it was training to get ready to go out there, or working to be able to financially be able to afford being able to go out there, and just everything, almost every single day, from winning to when we actually went out there. It was just all about Kazakhstan, getting ready for Kazakhstan. And there's already not a lot of people from Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
right? So then all of a sudden it's like we meet, and then, oh cool, hey, where you from? They're like, Kazakhstan. Like, oh no shit, like I'm getting ready to go to Kazakhstan. So
Yeah.
like I think that was pretty cool. It was just like shit just happens, right? Shit kind of falls together sometimes. Like we ended up meeting. You're from Kazakhstan, and actually I went to Nur Sultan, which is a place that you're familiar
Yeah.
with, right?
Mm-hmm.
You used to live there, or
Yeah.
your family lived there,
I was living there for almost 10 years, I would say.
right? Yeah.
We moved there 2007,
Yeah. So
And I moved here in 2018, right? And
yeah.
like,
So all your life, for a big part of your life, you were out in Nur Sultan. So Astana at the time.
Astana, yeah.
You
Let's
left.
call it
It was
Astana.
Astana. It was
Sounds
Astana.
better.
Yeah, it flows better.
Yep.
So Astana is where you were. So
What's
excuse me.
interesting is, first time we met, you went to the Worlds. Second time we went, you went to the Worlds, and now we're meeting third time, right? So
Yeah.
probably you will end up competing in one of the big tournaments, like maybe for Pans or.
Yeah.
Are you considering to compete in Pans?
Yeah, I want to go to Pans.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. It just depends on how the schedule goes.
Yeah.
With coaching, when that ends, and then World Team Trials whenever that is. So I just have to work out my calendar to see what tournaments are coming up and how my coaching schedule plays out.
Yeah. So you're
Coaching.
basically coaching the freestyle wrestling, right? I mean, like folk style wrestling.
Folk style. I coach folk style wrestling for middle school and high school.
Yep. And
then-
grappling coach, right?
And then I help teach just a fundamentals class, a basics class at the gym that I personally train at with my coach.
What's the
So-
name of the gym?
So the name is Impact Zone Training Center.
Mhm.
You see it here on my shirt, Impact Zone Training Center. It's in West Lafayette, Indiana. So it's been there for right about 10 years now.
Mhm.
My coach, he's been pretty much the head coach for that entire time. Pretty much has been his essentially his school since he started training, and so I've been training under him for 3 years. And altogether, I've been training for 5 years. Actually, 5 years today.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. So I've been training 5 years. Today is when I first started training. When I first stepped on the mat.
Yeah.
The very first person that I rolled with was my homeboy Nick. So Nick Kroger. Shout out to Nick. He's the very first person that I rolled with.
Yeah.
He tapped me out, and we've been bros ever since. He's actually on the team as well. He's on Team USA as well. He's
72 kilos?
71 kilos, I believe, is what his weight division is. He does it in the gi, so
Mhm.
there's no gi and the gi division. So he's in his spot is with the gi, and then we have Danny Rodriguez. That's Damian Maya, black belt. He trains
Oh.
in Chicago as well, or Illinois.
So he
He
was a
trains
very
in-
solid.
yeah, he's
contestant.
a solid guy as well. So he's got the no-gi spot for the team. So we've gone out to train with him as well. So yeah, so 5 years ago to this day is when I first started training, the very first time I stepped on the mats. And I got my blue belt in a year. So I started in January. I got my blue belt in December. And then about a year and 10 months in or so close to 2 years, is when I made the switch to Impact Zone, is where I was at now, or where I'm at now. So I was about 8 months, 10 months into my blue belt. It's when I made the switch, and then I got my purple belt last year, so 2019.
Mhm.
Still the same, like the first couple weeks of January.
Mhm.
So within the first like half of January is when I got my purple belt.
So you got your new belt in the beginning of 2019. I got my new belt. I mean, like
At the
blue,
end.
blue belt
Blue
at the
belt.
end, right? So
Yeah. At
Also
the end,
connection.
at the end of 2019. Yeah. So big year, very very big year
Yeah.
actually for
I agree.
for me. Probably the biggest year of my life, essentially, and just accomplishments and just moving forward with just moving forward to help me set myself up for better things in the future. So I got my purple belt in 2019. I made Team USA 2019, and I got to travel the world, compete, represent the USA, represent Team USA in 2019. Got to go to Kazakhstan, Astana, and represent the world out there. And I met Team Mexico was out there, the
Oh
wrestling
yeah,
team.
I saw your story. Yes.
Yeah, so Team Mexico was out there, which is super cool for me because I'm Mexican American. I was born in California, but I was raised in Mexico. I lived there from when I was 7 months old until I was about 7 years old. And then I moved back to California with my parents. So just seeing the Mexico team out there and being able to talk to them, being able to connect with them, let them know that I grew up in Mexico as well. That was super cool. That was an awesome experience because we were the only America teams that were out there. Like no other teams from any
No Brazilians,
Americas, no South American, no Central American. It was just Team USA and Team Mexico, obviously being the Americas, the American teams that were out there, and yeah, all the other teams were European. You know, that,
obviously, yeah.
that side of the world, and there was tons of teams that were out there. So it was cool. It just happened to be that
Was it your
my
first
people.
time when you traveled like across the country and compete and represent USA?
To compete? Yeah. It was my very first time that I got to travel, represent USA to compete out there. I had been to London before. I went to London in 2016, I think is when I went. 2016, 2015, I forget exactly when. But I got to go to London out there. I went out there for a business seminar, kind of like a business kind of sales type seminar. So, which was really fun. I learned a lot. It was a really good time. But yeah, as far as competing and everything, that was the very first time that I got to go out there and compete. So just keeping it going. I want to go to back to Mexico hopefully this year and do maybe some seminars or just kind of help spread the word to let people know that that it exists and the grappling exists. It's a real thing. And then even just with the wrestling team, I made connections with the wrestling team because they were the ones that were in Kazakhstan, the Mexican wrestling team. It wasn't the grappling team. And so I reached out to them. I think it would be pretty cool to do a seminar tour or just a tour in general, helping spread the word with just wrestling and then grappling in general. Let them know that there's an out, or there's potential that you can potentially do big things with it. Obviously, if you put in the work, it just doesn't come. It doesn't come easy, especially wrestling. Wrestling is one of the hardest things that you can do, and then just grappling in general, you got to put in the time. But there's an example of it, right? Like even from Mexico, the guys that were on the team, they're Mexican. They live in Mexico. They grew up in Mexico, but they're obviously still on the team, right? They were able to travel the world to represent Mexico at the world stage. So no matter what, you can still make it happen.
Exactly. So what would be your recommendations? Let's say top 3 advice from Juan for beginners who just want to step onto the mat and just start jiu-jitsu journey. What's your top 3 advice? It would be
1, get started. The first one,
biggest step, right?
Yeah, the big step would be just to get started.
Just show up, right?
Yeah, show up and be consistent. But yeah, just keep showing up, keep learning, have a good attitude towards it, have an open mind, get ready to take your beatings. Get ready. Not as bad as it sounds, but you're literally learning something new that you're just totally unfamiliar with. So you gotta be able to put your ego aside, take it all in, kind of get beat up on a little bit, tap early, tap often.
I think it's the most difficult issue to deal with, right?
Yeah.
The ego.
Yeah, being able to get past your ego, learning that there's other people that are going to be a lot better than you. Even people that are a lot smaller than you, they're going to be a lot better than you. They're going to be able to just whoop on you and do whatever they want. So you got to be able to put the ego aside and just keep showing up even after you get tapped 25 times in a round. So you got to be able to just keep showing up and surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do. Essentially, if you want to do, whether you compete or I guess in general, whatever you want to do, whatever you hope to get to one day, surround yourself with people that are already there. Because just at that point, naturally, you become who you surround yourself with. Exactly. Right? So, still recording?
Yeah.
So
44 minutes.
Yeah, your phone's about to die. So, but
that's why we traveled to Mount Vernon to be beaten up, but to keep up with guys. Yeah.
So I drove yesterday 4 hours to Mount Vernon. To Pedigo Submission Fighting, which is a super accomplished gym in the Midwest. It's in Mount Vernon, Illinois. So it's a super accomplished gym. They have a bunch of high-level competitors that you stopped by.
Yeah.
I actually competed against one of their recently promoted black belt. I competed against him actually in Paducah, Kentucky, when we first met. The very first time we met, I competed against him and found out about him. Just been following him ever since, and so I have been wanting to go get out there and train and just check it out, see what they're doing. And you happen to be there. We happen to be, good friends now, and so it was just like a good reason to make it out there to train. And so yeah, I drove out there, drove 4 hours, rolled for a couple hours, and then we drove back that same night. So it was about 9 hours of driving altogether. And yeah, so you hung out in my little town.
Yeah.
You went to my class, you went to my basics class that I teach, so you guys can hang out with me. You went to my my practice, my middle school practice.
Yep.
Right, I got to see some of the middle schoolers and stuff, what they're doing.
Future killers.
yeah, future killers.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is cool. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy coaching them. So it was fun, and yeah. But like I said, going back to what we were talking about is like surround yourself with who you want to be in the future. Yeah, because I never would have made Team USA or even thought about going out there had I not been with a coach that was already on Team USA.
Yep.
And even while he was on Team USA, I competed and everything, but I never really had thoughts of going out to compete until just like a couple years ago. It was really over the span of a couple years. My coach just slowly was like, it would be cool to have my team go out there with us. It would be cool to take my team to the World Team Trials and have them win their spots, so then we can all travel together. And he steady kept saying that for a good year or two, year and a half, before finally like it started to simmer in. Like, what would happen? Like, I wouldn't, what would happen if I did try it out?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he found out where the World Team Trials were gonna be, and then all of a sudden, like, it didn't really faze me to go out and try out. But then thankfully, just with my personal like work that I work on, just business and stuff, I work with an auto shop, and I was able to get a car from them, the Camry.
Yeah.
I got my Camry from them. So Big Wheels, shout out to my boys at Big Wheels Customs,
Hey.
out in Lafayette. You went to their shop as well,
Yep.
so you kind of followed me around for a day, and so I bought a little Camry, a little 4-cylinder Toyota Camry. That this is practically a newer car, because I got it from a shop, so they gave it to me, ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously, they inspected it, they rebuilt the engine and everything, or they put a new engine in it, and so yeah. Then all of a sudden, like, I had a way to get around, and so then I told one of my buddies, like, hey, you want to just go out to Colorado? And just like, fuck yeah, like, let's go. And so yeah, I decided to all of a sudden just take the drive out to Colorado to the World Team Trials, and then next thing you know, it's like we won our spots.
Yep.
So then literally from January, February, so it all happened from February. Before February, at the beginning of the year, I really had no plans of going out to make the team or to try out for the team. But then between February and April is when I started working with Big Wheels, with just the personal business that I'm working on for just service marketing and everything like that, media management, online media management, and started working with them. I was gonna need a new car because the car that I had was starting to break down and was just starting to get older. Another little Camry, but it was just a lot older. And next thing you know, they're like, hey, we got a little Camry that we just rebuilt, like, it's ready to go if you want it. And so I was like, oh really? So then I talked to the owner. We worked out a deal, and I got a Camry, and then all of a sudden I had wheels. So then it's like, you want to go to Colorado? And it's like, let's go. And then so just from 1 month to the other, it was literally just like
all driving,
just kind of driving, and then don't really have much going on, just kind of training, just staying in the gym, staying ready for whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, we're on team. You made the team. Get ready because you're going to Kazakhstan. And then so next thing you know, like I said, from the very beginning, so from like April or whenever we went out to the trials, June, I think May or June, right around there. It was just get ready because you're gonna go to Kazakhstan. Get ready because you're gonna go to Kazakhstan. And then again, just met you, and then it just kept the ball rolling from there.
Yeah.
But again, going back to it, it was because of my coach that he had already been on the team for a couple years, and it was about like a year and a half worth of him just poking. It would be cool to take my team out there. It would be cool to take my team out there. You know, and then next thing you know, it's like, you know what, I wonder what would have happened if you went out there, you know? And then next thing you know, it's just like, we're all on the team and traveling the world together.
I definitely agree that picking up, like, you know, choosing the right coach is a, like, crucial step in your jiu-jitsu, I would say, because I also have a coach who was, like, you know, a big friend of mine who helped me a lot last year and still helping me out this year, so yeah, I definitely agree with you that it is the biggest step, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, big.
Because if you have a wrong environment, I would say, in the gym where you train at, it's not good because either you'll be get injured soon, or you will just hate jiu-jitsu and never come back, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah, you
okay,
gotta
being
deal with
saying
that.
that, I think it's time to finish, right?
Yeah.
Get some sleep, and
it's getting
hopefully
late.
we'll make second part of the video, like, you know, next time we meet, right?
Next
Probably
time.
it's gonna be maybe March or April.
Yeah.
You said you're traveling to Chicago Open, right?
Yeah. It's in April, so I'll make plans to make the trip out there, whether to work or compete. More than likely, it'll be to compete. I haven't done the Chicago Open in a while. So.
It's gonna be my first IBJJF tournament, so.
Yeah, at blue belt, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, in any belt.
Oh,
I never
yeah.
I never tried.
You never competed for IBJ,
Yep. So
it'll be fun.
Thank you so much,
Dude.
Yep.
Again, it's
we
a
made
pleasure.
it.
Good meeting you, and see you next time.
See ya.